Notts County Talk. Welcome to episode 83 of the Pavis Perspective. It's the York City preview, the final game of the season, a game that, in terms of the league table for Notts, for York, doesn't really mean anything. They can't really go down unless there were some crazy results at the end of the season, and we can't change places. The only thing we're focused on is who we get in that playoff semi-final. At the minute, it looks like it's going to be Bromley and Barnet, but Bournemouth could also sneak in there as well. As always, we are sponsored by Better Bytes Computers. The link's in the description. You would have seen them at the start of the show. How you doing, George? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, mate. That intro was superb. Very good. I enjoyed it, and I'm part of it. It was brilliant.
I'm shattered.
Oh yeah, you look it.
Well,
you look done.
We've just spent 40 minutes trying to keep up with Aaron and Man, haven't we?
Yeah.
And let me tell you, he's quick, isn't he? He's quick. Yeah, we've just finished filming the 40-minute interview with Aaron and Man. We used a lot of your guys' questions. So really appreciate sending those in. Good interview. He's a really great guy. Had a laugh with him. Asked him a couple of questions. Asked him how to pronounce his name. Also asked him who's quicker, him or Toby. And he threw another name in there, didn't he, George? He threw another name in there that said it's a player in the squad that's even quicker than himself, didn't he?
Yeah.
But we won't name that. You'll have to wait for it. That's uploaded on Sunday evening. So if you do want to give that a watch, it's going to be premiering Sunday evening. If you are listening back on Spotify, also, please do give us that 5-star review. It helps us out massively. So let's see who we've got with us tonight. The start later time of 8 o'clock. We've got Ian, James, Fraser, Nigel, Dale, Keith, Steve. Loads of you joining us. And we're going to be fully positive about the playoffs, aren't we, George? We're here. We're there. Playoffs. It's the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that matters now is the playoffs. And I'm feeling quite relaxed. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Why wouldn't you be? Look, we're set pretty much, aren't we? If it goes the way it has been all season, for us to get 109 points, which before this season started would have broken the record, like Wrexham already have. Phenomenal season, and it's awful really that we've not won the league, but that's the way it is. And you just got to look at it like this. After Saturday, we're 2 wins away from league football, and that's it. It's that plain and simple. We can win games, we can dominate games, we can do it. We can beat all the teams that are in that playoffs, all of them, every single one of them. So yeah, for me, why would you not be confident?
I love that. You've got me
inspired now, aren't you? I've inspired you, Anna.
Yeah,
there we go.
You have. And from speaking to Aaron and what he sort of said about the rest of the squad, the boys are relishing the opportunity to get that game at Maid Lane and then try and get us to Wembley. They seem positive. They seem in good spirits. So, yeah, it's something I'm really excited about. The question tonight then is, should Notts rest players against York ahead of the playoffs? Yes or no? It's as simple as that. What do you think? Votes coming in nice and early, but do you think we should be resting players on Saturday?
And Cobb.
What about it?
That's just normally one of the answers, isn't it?
Oh, I love a hash brown Cobb. I had hash browns for dinner tonight. Great.
Good man.
Really good. Not just hash browns though. That would be weird.
In a Cobb?
Not in a Cobb. It wasn't in a Cobb tonight. No. Yeah, that's the question. Plain and simple. Let's have a look at some of your questions coming in then. Let us know. Let's see. I like this. Nick says, evening guys, this is in relation to the poll. Win the game in Newcastle time and then rest players. Did you see that, George? It flashed up on my phone. I was actually doing some shopping on Sunday and it flashed up saying, I think Sky Sports, but what's going on here? Newcastle 5 up in 20 minutes. Is that a new phrase that Nick's got, Newcastle time?
Maybe.
Question from Charlie. Have you boys done the early bird thing for Wembley? A few people here saying they've got tickets for the playoff final all done and dusted. Even though I booked my Wembley tickets, £37, 2 adults, 2 children. Obviously, you get the early bird price for cheaper. What do you think, George? Have you done yours?
No, I've not.
No, I've not done it.
I don't want to tempt fate, to be honest. As much as I'm confident, it's like I'm not. I can't think what the word is at this moment in time. But you know the whole seeing two magpies together. Do you know if I see one on its own?
Superstitious?
Superstitious. There you go, Tom. I'm not superstitious unless it's a magpie. So yeah, I don't like to tempt fate when it comes to stuff like that. I'm confident, but no, I won't be buying my ticket until we do win next Sunday.
When we do win, I like that. No, I've not got mine. Again, I'm in the same bracket. You can't get a refund, can you, for the tickets? I think I've seen you definitely can't.
No.
I would not be using that ticket if Notts don't get through. I would not a chance. I wouldn't want to go and see the team that beat Notts in that playoff final.
No.
So for me, I can't do it. I mean, if you're fully confident, like George is very confident. If you're very confident, then go for it. If you're not, like, if you don't mind seeing the team that will beat Notts, go for it. Again, Chris has said here, kids price quadruples, so fully understand families taking the early risk. Like quadruple.
Absolutely.
Early bird prices are good, but I've never seen early bird price when it quadruples in price, which is crazy to me. James, people letting superstition overall financial sense too good to price to ignore. £100 saving versus £30 loss if we don't make it.
For me personally, though, like if for the final, I'd just be buying myself a ticket. I can fully understand why a family of 3 or more would do it, 100%. But for me personally, it's not like a huge amount.
How much are the tickets? Not early bird.
Are they £40? 30, like £39, I think.
What, after early bird price goes?
Yeah.
And what are their early bird price?
Well, if someone just said that they got 2 adults and 2 children for 37,
I mean, that's
substantially less.
Very good. That's like the price of an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris says I took a £30 risk because I'll be taking 3 kids.
Yeah, it's understandable, isn't it?
I mean, if we went, the only child we'll be going with is Jordan. So,
yeah.
I mean, we've only got one child in our group. 36 and 41. What do you think of that as a full price ticket, 36 and 41? Because I think some championship playoff tickets in the past 60 odd, 65, 70 quid. I don't think it's, for a game at Wembley, I don't think it's that bad at all. The early bird's fantastic price.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. But for me, the early bird thing for me just leaves a little bit of frustration because they can obviously afford to sell it at that price.
Yeah.
So
do it at that price.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't.
Or level the playing field. Just bring the price down to like a happy medium.
Yeah. Like £25 a ticket.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining. For me personally, I don't know. Like I don't want to come across bad, but because it's Notts and it's Wembley. Like I feel like how many times do you get to see Notts play at Wembley? And I'm purely I'm purely thinking from a personal perspective as buying one ticket. Like I don't want to risk it for one ticket, but I also don't mind paying the more. Do you know what I mean?
James has completely agreed with there, George. Should have been £25 for an adult without an early bird ticket. Yeah.
Exactly. So level the playing field. They'd make the same money.
Yeah, they would. They're also risking massively people not turning up and there being empty seats in a lot of places. Like I know, I think they're in a select area, aren't they, the early bird prices? But you don't want empty seats. And then people are just going to be buying those from people that are selling tickets. So if that's even possible. But yeah, completely agree. If you're going in a big group or a family, early bird is definitely. Charlie, dumb question, but will it be segregated at Wembley? Will we have a bit behind each on either side? Yeah. People that have got the early bird can change for free to their team's section. I personally would like to sit behind the goal for that, because that's traditionally at Wembley where the best atmosphere is. Maybe just to the side a little bit. For a game like this, I wouldn't want to be massively up there at the top.
How many do you think will be there?
What if Notts get there?
Not wise, yeah. You can't really call it for any other clubs because so many different clubs in the playoffs have got different levels of following, haven't they?
70,000 with another 30,000 outside the ground.
Oh, seriously.
25,000, 30,000.
I think you're probably about right.
35,000 maybe. I'm not saying this in a bad way. You'll get some Forest fans that want to be there.
Oh, don't start that.
You will though. You will. And they've had nothing to cheer this season. So.
Well, they won last night.
Oh, once in a blue moon. You know what I mean? But no, and you'll get people that haven't necessarily gone to every game this season, like gone to many games this season, go into that game. Jim Matt, I'm that confident I've paid £22 for a car parking space near the ground.
There you
go. Chris, I've had an email today asking who I support. There's a disappointing lack of information. If Notts hadn't had the season they have had, I may not have taken the offer. Guarantee not many Boreham Wood fans have. Whatever the cost is, we'll be there to support the boys. Like George said, not so often Notts get to Wembley. There'll be loads of seats empty. Top tier at Wembley will be closed off, maximum 25,000. Yeah. So 25,000. What do you think about that, don't you, George?
25 to 30, yeah.
Email came today in a form from Wembley who you support, and the tickets have changed to that end once the win is there. Forest playing Chelsea at the same time. Fair enough. So that sort of gets us through that. Myself and George have not taken the early bird price, but we'll be getting tickets straight away if Notts do get through. And it's an if, isn't it? I mean, did you see about Colville? I'm confident. I'm really confident. I'm feeling relaxed. But Colville, did you see that, George? They've been battering teams this season. They turned us over, didn't they? And they turned over Chesterfield as well. And I think they finished like 20-something points ahead of the next team. And they lost in the playoffs last night on penalties. It can happen. It can. I don't think a team's going to be coming to us in the playoffs, do you, George, and sitting in there like they have in games. I don't think they can afford to do that. Not when there's extra time involved.
No.
I think teams are going to have to come at us. So there we go. We haven't lost to Bromley, Boreham Wood or Barnet, but we've only won once in the 6 games, 5 draws. But again, did we draw with Boreham Wood? Yeah. They just sat in at home, sat in at our place. So let's see. Let's go to Maidstone then on Saturday. I managed to go. They massively oversold tickets for the area they gave us. Got to say, at least 100 fans just stood on the steps throughout the game. Really dangerous. Good atmosphere. Crazy game. Are you listening?
I wasn't very impressed. Wasn't impressed. I said, didn't I, on the last Pavis perspective, I'd be disappointed if we conceded, and by the sounds of it, it sounded like they nearly equalised when it was at 3-2. So disappointing for sort of that to creep in when it has. But
come on, we didn't start Mako, we didn't start Chickson, we didn't start Aaron Man.
Yeah, 100%. But you kind of want to be going into the playoffs with full confidence. That's why I think York is such a massive game, because we need to get players out there that might not have seen loads of game time. But I think we also need to sort of keep the main 11 together, because it's not like there's a big break in between, like we thought there was.
I'm so glad there's not.
It's literally, it's literally 8 days, isn't it? Because we play on the Sunday, so it goes from one weekend to another. Am I right in thinking there's a bank holiday after the game on next Sunday?
Yeah, coronation.
That's lovely. Lovely.
This time next week we'll know who we're playing, won't we?
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how quickly it comes around. Last season, I know I've said it in the past 2 shows, it was so ridiculous. We played in the Eliminator last season, which is the first leg, which is what our opponents are going to be playing in now, and it was 11 days after the season finished. I don't care how well you've played that season, and I think this is what contributed to it. The momentum's gone.
The lag's ridiculous. Yeah, stupid. But
Like,
yeah, I'm glad they corrected that.
Like Wrexham lost to Grimsby like we did, and us losing to Grimsby finished higher than us, I think, didn't they, or something like that? No, we finished higher than Grimsby, but still, Wrexham then had like 2 weeks before the next game, and I think that's one of the reasons they didn't do so well. So, yeah, I'm so glad they corrected that. If we had to wait 2 weeks, I would be less confident. Yeah, what about this? Paul says they hit the bar, but it all happened after our changes. What do you make of that? We were cruising, and then we made 3 subs. Marais came on. I think Aaron the Man came on as well, and Maka came on. So we made 3 subs.
Yeah, Palmer came off though, didn't he?
How? So what does that say in your mind? Like how big is he of a player?
Massive, but we know that, don't we? We know how big he is. So to sort of be in control of the game, like you say, and cruising, and Williams has done that quite a few times this season, and I'm not criticising him for it. I think it's a good thing, when you're in a good position in the game, you're comfortable. Bring some players on, rest the legs of the players that might be looking a little bit tired. But sort of in that moment, and it's the first time it's really happened this season, to be honest, when Williams has made a change like that. We've sort of lost grip of the game. So like you just said, that the value that is shown there from Matty Palmer is just it's there, isn't it?
Does that worry you? How reliant on one player?
No,
we've gone and scored 5 without Maka even scoring, so we don't need Maka to score. But when he went off, we went to pot.
I don't think it all sort of relies on that. It's probably a mental thing, I know William sort of held his hands up and said it was his fault, but I think the players have got to take a little bit, because it's probably a little bit of complacency as well. I think sort of you got that advantage. You're thinking, oh, we're cruising. Three subs have just come on. You made 3 subs in one go, didn't you?
Yeah,
That's
and it effectively
it's not very often you see that. Yeah, it's not very often you sort of see that in a league game as such. So yeah, I do feel like that probably a little bit of complacency came over. So yeah, I'm not too worried about the reliance on one player, because I think it's the structure as well. The structure obviously changed a little bit, because the subs that he brought on in place, not one of them really replaced sort of the role that Matty plays. So it's more of a shape thing for me than an individual thing. Don't get me wrong, I think Matty Palmer has to play at every game that is available, because he just is that good and he is that important for us. But I don't think it solely at that moment came down to Matty Palmer wasn't on the pitch.
No, I think it's what a lot of people have said here. Williams admitted 3 changes at the same time was the mistake. Yeah. I mean, we still had midfield 3 of Ruben, Austin, and Jim. But if you think about it, even Jim likes to bomb forward, doesn't he? We'll go on to him in a minute. And it just left us very, very exposed. What I do find about Notts this season is, you can feel the tide turning in a game, and fans get, like, especially home fans, get on the team and like will them forward. I feel like not many times this season have we succumbed to that. Bromley, we came out with the draw. Maidstone, we got over it. I know Maidstone are poor, really poor. I mean, we scored 5 with a scratch team out. Jim O'Brien gets a hat-trick. Best player's not on the pitch. Woking away, got through that. Chesterfield got through that. So I think that's something we've got on our side. Yeah. And we don't actually have to go again this season to an away ground. We don't have to do it. And away form's been the best. We don't have to go to an away ground anymore. Wembley's a neutral ground, isn't it? So, and I think any side that goes to Wembley now that's left in this playoffs, we have more fans than them.
Yeah, without doubt. You just got to look up that league.
If Boreham would get there, Bromley get there, Barnet will take a fair few, Woking will take a fair few, Chesterfield will take a lot. They would take
nowhere near Notts, though.
But not near Notts. So we've effectively got we've got 2 home games and then a game where we've got an edge with the fans. Steve, hoping the complacent that game is a wake-up call. Can't let standards slip. Better it happen here or there than next week. Yeah. I think it was one of those games, just odd, really odd game. Like, it was really strange. Like, they were the worst team I've ever seen in the National League in terms of, not in terms of the scoreline, in terms of they didn't touch the ball. They went so long without touching the ball. And then all of a sudden, it's dangerous when a team has nothing left to give. Like, there's nothing they can do. They're 3-0 down, and there's nothing that they have. So, it was a strange one. It was a strange one. What do you think of Jim's hat-trick, though?
Yeah, fair play to him. Fair play. It's good to see as well. It's good to see Ruben give him the penalty as well, isn't it? Yeah. He's second in his career. He's second for Notts. Yeah, fair play to him. What would you give him? Player ratings?
10.
10. There you go, Jim.
His first goal
doesn't get better.
His first goal was a great goal. And someone's already put in the chat. Callum's been going on about Chicks and hat-trick for all these Pavis perspectives, and Jim's gone and got his second. You backed the wrong horse, Charlie. Sorry, Callum. I was reading the word Charlie. You backed the wrong horse.
Yeah. Maybe it should change next season. Someone else.
Well, it won't, will it? Because that leads us lovely. That leads us nicely on to Chickson's got a new contract.
Oh, super.
If you'd have said to me last weekend, we'll have Chickson sign a new contract, I said no. I said he's finished at Notts. As in, I thought he wanted to go elsewhere. I thought he wanted to move on. And I thought he might want another challenge. What do you make of it?
I disagree with that statement.
Go on.
I think the other way around. I think. Can you remember last season where, at the end of last season, when it was like we were sort of talking about renewals and his took ages to go through. Remember?
Yeah.
And it was just like a 1-year contract. I think that was probably part of it. I think he maybe wanted a bit of a longer contract. I don't know that for certain. That's just me sort of looking at the situation and making assumptions. But with that in mind, I know he's had a good season. But I don't know. I thought maybe we'd be looking to bring someone in, maybe.
Do you think we still? Well, I think we still will. Vinny won't be the wing back next season.
Vinny's out of contract, isn't he?
I'd keep him. Would you?
I don't know.
I would. I think.
I think he's a good player, but if we're talking about bringing someone else in, another sort of left wing back, with 2 left wing backs, a central midfield that doesn't need, Frank Vincent, because Williams has sort of said that there's no space for him there. Where does he fit?
Yeah, but we're going to lose Jim.
Are we though?
We're losing Jim. Jim won't play next season.
How do you know?
Oh, I'll be amazed if he plays next season.
I won't be surprised.
I would. I'd be massively surprised. I think that's the last time we see Jim. This season's the last time we see Jim. Definitely.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think, how old is he now? I don't know. But anyway, a couple of people saying Bridge is out of contract from Southend. I mean, no one impressed me from Southend at Meadowlane earlier in the season, but I mean,
he's 35.
Jim.
Yeah.
Job, player, coach. Jim moving into coaching role would be great. Hasn't he already been doing some coaching work?
Yeah, he works for Sheffield United in the youth.
There you go. You don't do that with
just been promoted to the Prem as well, haven't they?
Yeah, you don't need that. You don't do that 2 years before you're finishing, I don't think. I think, what would we have next season? We'll have Matty Palmer, John Bostock, Ed Francis. Don't think we'll see him again. Vinny, and then we get another one in for me.
I think we could see a bit of a bigger turnover.
Do you?
Yeah.
How much bigger?
To be honest, I'm not surprised, but I am surprised. I am surprised. I'm surprised you should have got the extension. I know I am. It's quite early, isn't it?
We're back on Chickson now.
Yeah, Chickson, yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised that he got his renewal so early.
Oh yeah,
There's obviously a lot of faith there. How long was it for?
can't quite remember.
It's got to be a year, hasn't it?
Yeah, possibly. Have a look. Have a look. Someone will let us know how long it is. But no, I'm happy. Like one of the most professional players. 2 years. One of the most professional players I've seen at the club. Like
2 years apparently.
like if I'm not seeing him in an ice bath, I'm seeing him doing stretches.
Yeah.
If I'm not seeing that,
disciplined, isn't he?
We just asked, didn't we? We just asked Aaron the man. Best trainer, hardest worker. He put Chickson's name in there. He said there was a couple in there, but he put Chickson's name in there. So I think it's good. I think it's good we've got him for that extra length of time. Right then.
Maybe.
We look ahead now to York, and our question was, do you rotate the squad? You've already said, before we talk about that, you've already said it's a massive game in your eyes and you want to go in on a win. I agree with you. I think you definitely want to go in on a win. We're playing the following weekend.
Yeah.
Williams will be desperate for a win.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think he'll accept anything less, to be honest.
No.
Because you don't want to, I think someone's already sort of said it in the live chat. Winning is a habit, isn't it? Confidence is everything. Like you want to be going into the playoffs with all the confidence in the world. You know you can turn these teams over. You know you can score goals. You know you can create chances. So you don't. For me, you can't take the chance. It's one game. You know what I mean? It's one game. Go for it. You know, you've got one game to sort of breathe that sort of confidence in, and then it's 2 games, 2 wins to you're back up. So it really is massive, and you cannot underestimate how big this game is. I know it might sound really boring to say that because as far as the league goes, it doesn't really mean much. It doesn't mean anything at all for us. But it means everything for the confidence, for the players. You can't change too much to me, because a lot of what it's like a rhythm almost, isn't it? When you're playing, you want to be playing with the players that you are going to be playing with in those games, and the players that are in form and the players that are high in confidence, and you want to see where we are at that moment.
Yeah.
So for me, you got to go all out.
I think it's also big for the fans coming back into Med Lane 8 days later, and they've just seen a win. It does even if it's subconscious. You know, we've won the last two games, Woking comfortably, and we weren't at our best there. And then 5-2 against Maidstone. Let's sign off the regular season with a victory, and a good victory at that. York can go down mathematically. There's not a chance they go down. There needs to be an absolutely huge, massive goal swing. They need Torquay to beat Wrexham. They need Maidenhead to lose by... It's not happening. It's not happening. Their goal difference is -8. Torquay's is -22. Absolutely no way it happens. So they are finished. They're. I'd like to say they're on the beach, personally. But have you seen their away following? Already sold 1,250 tickets.
It's quality, isn't it?
To say they've got nothing to play for anymore. Yeah, Fraser would expect York to bring lots of fans, which will raise their players. Final game of the season, they've managed to stay up. They could actually be, playing with freedom. They've been playing with pressure the past few weeks. Their performances have just been fallen off a cliff. 3-0 against Halifax, 3-2 against Torquay in that crunch game, 2-2 against Aldershot. I think Aldershot equalised with that penalty, or they would have definitely been safe. So there we go. A few people saying, let's have a look. Can't see Luke Williams starting Langstaff. Not sure about that. I'm not sure. Charlie wants a win and a clean sheet.
Someone said it in here as well. I think Mullins on 38 for the season, isn't he?
Yeah.
Langstaff is on 40 in the league, isn't he?
Yeah, but have you seen Mullins scored 32 penalties?
Yeah.
6 from outfield.
No, it's not 32. It's like 37, is it?
37 penalties, I think it is.
Yeah, something like that.
But no, yeah, it would be a travesty for Maka not to win it. You also want him to. You also want him to get. You want him to get another heading into that playoffs, don't you?
Yeah.
So there we go. Sorry, I can't see Williams not starting Langstaff. Even if some of your fan bases like Forest hurt you up, cheers, Door. It would be a travesty if we didn't go up. Nightmare. Someone at the club told me they've sold 1,400 tickets. There you go, 1,400 tickets for that game, and I hope they sell more because it could. They're having a bit of a party. It could almost mimic the playoff atmosphere we're going to get, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Which should be positive. Right, George. Go to the poll then.
Yeah. Right. The last poll of the normal season, Tom.
Oh, I'm shaking.
I'm crying. Right. Should Notts rest players against York ahead of the playoffs? 37% say yes, 63% say no. I think it's probably obvious where I'm sitting on this one.
Where are you sitting?
No.
No, I voted no as well. I voted no.
It's that simple. No.
If we're winning and after like 60 odd minutes, then yes.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Not three at the same time though. That didn't work.
Yeah.
Not 3 players at the same time. Definitely not. Simple as that. I would have a couple of changes, but not necessarily rests. In my eyes.
Yeah.
Should we go for our team then?
Let's go for our team, Tom.
Can I go first?
Go on then.
Sam Slocum back in goal.
Yeah. Do you extend his contract at the end of the season?
Oh. No.
Tom.
No. Do you?
No,
I don't think so. Not that he's been bad. We just need to. I think we need to get a young keeper in that's learned this way for a long time. I think Mayer. I'll take Mayer actually. So I then go with the back three I want to see in the playoffs, which is Rollo, Baldwin, and Cameron. Baldwin even had mistakes against Maidstone. Not the only player. I'm not trying to single him out.
You're singling him out.
Always 2 or 3 mistakes. I then go Aaron the man on the right, Chickson on the left. What are you doing?
I agree.
Okay. Midfield then. Johnny Bostock back in. Matty Palmer in. Rothman, Cottonwall, bubble wrap. Put one of those.
Made a rubber, mate.
Yeah, one of those thingy. Blow up massive balls that people roll in for on assault courses and things. Put him in one of them.
You mean.
I know what I mean. I reckon the refs in this league wouldn't probably notice he's wearing it. They'll probably just play on.
He'd probably still be the best technically gifted player on the pitch as well.
He would. Imagine him trying to kick the ball inside the thing, like just booting the inside of it. Right, sorry, anyway. Yeah.
Zorbs, there you go.
Zorbs, that's it, Chris. Yeah, I think he should be wearing Milkman Hero, Zorb. And a sumo suit in Zorb. Yeah, just wrap him in that.
It's everything.
Let Connell Rawlinson roll him around in it. Right.
Yeah.
There's my midfield too. I then go Ruben, Scott, Maka, no Austin.
No, you got it all wrong.
Go on then.
Ruben, Scott, Langstaff. No, I'm joking. Ruben, Austin, Langstaff.
Fair enough. Great
Austin
to see Scott
to
score. Great to see Scott score the other day.
Yeah,
really great. Really great. There's my team. I think we've got Wrexham, Paul Evans. Out of interest, how many penalties have Notts had compared to Wrexham? Notts have
only had about 2 this season.
Notts have had 1 this season, and Wrexham, I think, let me just check. 26, apparently.
You said that Mullin had scored 32 penalties this season. The maths ain't mathing, mate.
Yeah. But square root and all that.
Oh yeah.
So, have we bought season tickets? Not just yet, but I will be very shortly. Are they the exact same price?
You're waiting to see if we go up, aren't you?
No, I've heard you're waiting to see if we go up. I've heard you've didn't you contact the club and ask if you could go get yours in the Cyril? I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
That section between the away
Shot
fans
on my
and the
own.
home. Yeah. What do you think?
What?
What do you think?
Season ticket prices.
Yeah, they're the same, aren't they? I think they are.
I think, yeah, they're about the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob McElhenney seemed to be pretty happy about it, anyway, didn't he?
Yeah, he bought one apparently.
Yeah.
And then after the interview, he rang up the office and asked for a refund. They just did it for the cameras, but
It's not like him, is it?
Not like him at all. He doesn't care one bit, does he? Go and buy a season ticket. Why are you being patronising? Wouldn't be saying that if not had won the league, would he? Yeah, a lot of people are saying they've got the season tickets, which is really good. I think the style of football will just attract people back, whether they've been 5 times this season or the full 23 times this season. Like it's been the best football I've.
It will be interesting to see what does happen with numbers if we do get promoted. If we do see a bit of a jump, because I just feel like especially in our lifetime, we've always been sort of plagued with bad ownership, haven't we? And lack of direction. Whereas now it just feels the complete opposite. We've got good ownership, good direction, good style of football, really good squad, relatively young, lots of players that are exciting. Everything's really, really positive. So it'll be interesting to see if we do get promoted, sort of what impact it will have, because we're in a different era now as well, aren't we? Like social media, people want to be part of stuff, don't they? Just to say that they've been there and things like that. So maybe we could see a bit of a shift if we do get promotion. Who knows?
Yeah, fair enough. Couldn't have said it about myself. Controversial opinion, but I'm not sure there's really a role for Jody Jones in this squad. Ooh. What do you think?
That's a fair point. It's a fair point. I don't know. I kind of know where he's coming from, but I think someone of that quality, they can fit in for sure. We could be losing some really good players this summer, so we'll see. And Jody's got that sort of instinct, hasn't he, to change a game in a few seconds.
Oxford have a new manager since we sent Jody, though. Or since we got Jody there since he sent him to Notts, I got a new manager, and you got a player of that quality, and all of a sudden, you've played him for half a season and he's still fit, and that was the worry. That he had 2 bad injuries.
Yeah.
But he's also out of contract, so we'll see. Paul, I enjoy your videos as a Wrexham fan, especially when you both, sad as it means we've done well, have to get promoted so I can tune in next season. Let's hope so. Paul. Let's hope we do go up. Good to have you tuning in anyway. Let's hope we can go up to League 2. So we start with a good result on Saturday. 5:30, don't forget. Right, George.
Tom, did you see what Chris has just put?
What's he put?
Austin will move into Ruben's role. Said it, didn't I? Said it to you a few weeks ago now.
I must say.
You've seen it.
I must say.
But imagine, right?
He's
Imagine.
been very, very good.
Imagine there's you just get a notification on your phone. The Portuguese, whatever's staying. Oh.
What would you do?
Portuguese Magnifico.
Yes.
Somewhat along those lines. A few expletives in there.
Could you imagine?
No matter where I was, I'd probably do a knee slide.
Guess who's staying? Anyway. Guess who's staying with those eye emojis and a Portuguese flag?
Yeah.
Love it. Callum, I massively agree with you. Wembley is a better way of going up. As I know it doesn't mean you've won the league, but to have that day at Wembley, I think to be fair, I've said it for a while that if you win at Wembley, I think it's fantastic. Chris Austin's fast become my favourite player. Yeah, great player. Yeah, imagine him on the Wembley pitch, running left, right. Oh, so good.
Right, good night.
Left, right. Good night. That's what it will be for Boreham Wood. If we go up, does another team make a bid for Luke Williams? No, I don't think so. I think Luke Williams stays. Regardless, I think 5-year deal we put him on. So, right, score prediction then. I'm going to jump in there. I think it could go two ways. I think York could have released all the pressure they've had for weeks, knowing they're safe and putting a great performance in front of their near 1,500 fans, and they could really, really turn up. Or I think that they could be on the beach, and I'm going to go with them being on the beach, and their fans are happy watching us pass left, right, good night, and it's going to be 4-0 Knots.
4-0 Knots, final day.
4-0 Knots, final day, 4-0 Knots, Junior Marias, all four.
Are we going to be able to get you off the pitch, Tom, if that's final score on the last day of the season?
Imagine going on the pitch and getting a ban order for that last game of the season before the playoffs in a nothing game. Imagine Jordan on the pitch because it finished 0-0.
He's done it before. I'm going to say 2-0 Knots.
Who scores?
Austin Brace.
Austin Brace. I'm not really going Marias or 4. I think Macker will get back in with a couple, and then Scott and Marias as well. I think Junior Marias equally might not score at all, and then score the winner at Wembley, coming on for 5 minutes. Can you imagine that? Instant hero. Chris, 4-0 and we break the 120 goal mark. Oh my goodness. 120 goals Notts fans have been treated to this season. Absolutely insane. George, that's it. The Pavis perspectives are done for the league this season.
Spurs are losing again as well. Terrible.
Great way to end it.
Sorry,
I genuinely think we've made every week this season for a Pavis perspective.
There might have been, it's not even a handful, less than that, of maybe Fridays.
A few Fridays as well. That's it.
But we still got it done, Tom.
If you're one that's joined us every single week this season at some point for a Pavis perspective,
Tom will personally buy you a pint in the NAV before the game.
No, I'll get a Notts County Talk pin badge made if you can prove it. If you can prove where you were.
That's impossible, but I love it.
That would be great. So, Chris says, been a pleasure, boys. Wonderful dedication. Thank you very much. We have coming up now, we know we don't have to go to Fan Ray to get that playoff spot. We have Sunday evening, Aaron the Man interview, talking about his career, answering your questions, some quick fire questions as well, and talking about the playoffs. And we have a massive Pavis perspective next Thursday ahead of Sunday's playoff game. Who will it be? We will know this time next week. I've been here every week. Chris, you have been here. James, what am I supposed to do on Thursdays in the summer? I don't know. I'm not sure. But it's been an absolute pleasure this season. Rewatch some. But,
get yourself psyched up.
Back when we didn't know what we were doing. We don't really know what we're doing anyway at the minute. So, fair enough. But no, thank you to everyone that's joined us in the regular season. It's not over yet. We hope there's at least one more page perspective. We hope there's 2 more this season. And we hope there's maybe even a celebratory video. Thank you to everyone that's joined us this season on our Thursday nights, some Fridays. But it's been fantastic to have you. Keep an eye out Sunday. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.